Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us virtually for our resource talk with online learning with Gannon. He's going to go over all the information that you need. Basically, he's going to show you where to go when you need help and different things and different resources that you can use. And then at the end of the session, we're going to post a link for you to go and enter yourself in to win a prize. We are going to raffle a prize off on Monday the 24th, which is the first day of classes, and coming up in a few days actually, which is crazy. And so we're going to be giving away an iPad mini, a set of AirPods, and a Nintendo Switch. So you don't want to miss out on those awesome prizes, especially the Nintendo Switch, because I know that that's been in really high demand due to COVID. So you'll want to at least have a chance for that. And then if you're interested in watching any of the other recordings, you can go to lfcc.edu/welcome day, and that will take you to everything that we have coming up and everything that we have recorded so far this week. But without further ado, I'll turn it over to Gannon.
Cool. Thanks, Sarah. So my name's Gannon Nordberg. I'm in the Instructional Technology office at the college, and that office helps support our faculty and students with things related to online learning. Things like Canvas, our learning management system, and now virtual learning through Zoom. And we've got a few other resources that we're excited to share with you today. What I've done here, I've shared a Google Doc that I've created that has a compilation of resources that we think students will benefit from. And I've broken it down into categories. And I was telling Sarah beforehand that I started gathering a bunch of links that I wanted to share with you all today. And it started to become a little more than I was comfortable with pasting links in the Zoom chat and putting links up on the screen and having you worry about writing them all down. So I'm going to share the URL to this document that we're looking at that has all the links there so that you don't need to worry about finding those resources that you need. So the first category of things that I want to talk about is Zoom. We're participating in Zoom for this webinar today, for this session, and I wanted to make sure that you understand some of the basics and also know where to get more information if you have questions or you need additional support there. So if you're inside a Zoom meeting, there's a Zoom toolbar that has a bunch of controls on it. One of which is to mute your microphone, and then there's one to turn off your webcam. There's a place where you can see a participants list where it has a list of everyone inside the meeting, and you can see whose video and microphone is on or off at any given time. There's a place for you to share content. So if your instructor asks you to share your screen, show something that you've been working on, or show an example of some work, things like that. You have the ability to share content. There's a built-in whiteboard into Zoom where you can use your mouse to make drawings and annotations onto things. There's a built-in chat that you can type messages back and forth to everyone in the meeting or to individual users. And it's a great tool that's used all over the world for virtual meetings, but now we're thankful that all of the 23 Virginia community colleges have a pro enterprise license for every student, every faculty, every staff, every administrator in the whole state of Virginia. And that's great because we all have unlimited recording time inside of Zoom. We have all the fancy bells and whistles in terms of no limitations. We can record our sessions and share them with people afterwards. And we can allow the cloud services to provide an audio transcript and a text transcription along with those recordings so that if we need another means to digest those meetings, we have those available to us too. So I wanted to start just by highlighting the Zoom Help Center. And the Zoom Help Center is great because this is the official place where the folks at Zoom are creating and sharing resources with all of their customers. And they have a bunch of resources here for the top 20 resources. There's a great built-in search right here, which is great. So if you're having trouble with, let's see, breakout rooms, which is a feature that will allow you to break up your big Zoom meeting into smaller Zoom meetings and you can do little small group discussions and then kind of report back to the big group. The search is great. So if you're looking for a topic of some kind, if you're having trouble with your microphone, or you want to learn how to send messages to everyone in the meeting through the built-in chat, you can just type a keyword into the search and it will bring up some possible results that will get you the help you need. Also, if you're having trouble with using Zoom or getting started, or you can't quite get your microphone settings to work right or play nicely inside of Zoom, there is a built-in chat right here in the corner that you can ask a question, and you'll be connected with somebody at Zoom directly that will help support you and answer any questions that you need. So I wanted to point that part out. There's also a great place in the Help Center to look at their video library of tutorials. So if we go through here, there's a bunch of topics here, from joining a meeting, if you want to schedule your own meeting. The advantage of doing that is if you're collaborating with group classmates or in doing a group project of some kind and you want to schedule your own meetings with Zoom, there's a tutorial on how to do that. There's a video on how to adjust and use all of the meeting controls. You can integrate Zoom with your Google Calendar if you want to. I won't go through all of these, but there's a lot of information about how to do some of these things, and it's broken down into subcategory information about configuring your audio and your video, sharing your screen, recording, what your options are for recording. So those are helpful options, I think. They have a quick start guide. And again, this is inside the Zoom Help Center, but I wanted to highlight it here because if you're brand new to Zoom or you've never participated in a Zoom call before, this is helpful just to make sure that you have the right equipment to take advantage of Zoom. And one of the most valuable things that I've found is there's a place where you can do a test meeting, that you join the link through your web browser, and it does a couple things. It checks your microphone, it checks your speakers, it checks your webcam, and it checks your internet connection. And it evaluates all of those to tell you, like, yep, you're good to go for a meeting, or looks like we couldn't connect to your speakers, you might have trouble hearing, or maybe your headset isn't plugged in right, or it's misbehaving in some way. So by using that test meeting tool, it's helpful. Another thing it does is it downloads the Zoom application to your computer, so that the next time you join a Zoom meeting, you don't have to download that again. It basically just talks to you, the app on your computer, and launches the Zoom application automatically. They have a list of frequently asked questions, which again is helpful. How do you download the application to your PC or Mac? They have applications for mobile devices and iPads. They have weekly live training that you can attend. You can sign up for a weekly webinar, and you have a chance to ask questions and learn about a specific topic inside of Zoom. We already looked at the video tutorials, but Zoom is a central part of a lot of what the college is doing, and we're using it for faculty and staff meetings and training for our faculty and other training for our students. So we want everyone to be as comfortable as possible so that we can communicate as effectively as we can through the technology that we have available. The next topic that I want to go over is Canvas. So Canvas, you can get to it through the My LFCC portal. When you log in there, the first tool right there on the list of tools is Canvas. And when you click on Canvas, it's going to take you to your Canvas dashboard. And the dashboard is a place where all of your courses will live. And I want to highlight a few different things here. We built a student tutorial course. It's called Building with Canvas. Every student is automatically enrolled in it, so you should see it on your dashboard automatically. And inside this tutorial, there are a sequence of modules that you can complete, and by completing the modules, you earn a little digital badge that you can then show your advisor or your instructor, and some faculty are even using the Building with Canvas course as like a low stakes assignment for the first week or two of class. Some are using it as extra credit. And the way you earn extra credit in those cases is showing your final badge that you earn at the end of the course. It's a self-paced course. It takes about an hour, a little over an hour to complete, but it has little videos for you to watch. It has resources that you can click through to learn more about what some of the terminology in Canvas is and how to navigate through there, and how to get help at the college if you need some help. So I highly recommend taking a look at the Building with Canvas course. We'll have some information to share in the document if you want to just read more about what is there. The other thing that I want to highlight here is each of these items corresponds to a different course, and these courses may not appear on the first day, or they may not appear right away until the instructor publishes the course. All faculty are required to publish the course by the first day of the class meeting, but if you're taking an 8-week course that doesn't start for a few weeks, you may not see it visible right here, and it could just be that the instructor hasn't published the course yet. As long as you're seeing your courses listed in SIS, in the Student Information System, you are enrolled, and those courses will appear by the first day of class. If for some reason after the first day of class you're still not seeing your course listed on the dashboard, please reach out to us so that we can investigate a little bit. And if we need to tap the instructor on the shoulder and remind them to publish the course, we can certainly do that as well. The other thing that's really great about Canvas is they have very powerful mobile apps, and they have a teacher app and a student app. And the benefit of the application are the app can send you push notifications about when new course materials have been added, when you have a new a quiz or an assignment that's been graded, when you've received feedback on something, if the instructor posts a new announcement in the course. So it's great because it helps you stay connected to the course, especially when you're on the go. And you can even complete assignments and participate in discussions from the mobile app. So it's a nice way to stay in touch with the course. The applications work great for iOS and Android devices, and we're happy that we have those available as an option. I also want to talk about the built-in Canvas help guides. So I'm going to click back to Canvas for a minute. At the bottom of this menu on the left is a little question mark. And when you click on that, this is going to show you a wealth of information about how to get help with Canvas. So the first one up here is the Canvas guides. And this will just show you a list of, it's basically a database of guides that the folks at Canvas have created that will help highlight frequently asked questions. And they have guides for all of this Canvas features, but they also have guides for mobile devices, their mobile apps. They have guides for Studio, which is another video and multimedia product that they make. I'll just show you briefly what the Canvas guides look like. They have a getting started guide. They have a Canvas basics guide. And then they have a guide for students directly or specifically. And it's broken down into each of these categories, but each of these categories then corresponds to a larger section that has other guides inside it. So for example, if I wanted to learn more about assignments, or I had a question about assignments, I can click on that, and then each of these is going to correspond to a guide inside here that will tell you more information. So for example, how do I submit an online assignment? If I click on that, it's going to start with a little explanation at the top, some background information, and then further down it's going to have screenshots with annotations and little more information about the items that you're seeing on screen, and it's going to walk you through the step how to submit an online assignment. And it's helpful because if you're not used to seeing some of the layout of an assignment in Canvas, or you're still kind of getting used to the terminology, this can highlight those in a way that I think is really beneficial to see. So that's kind of a brief overview of some of the help guides that we all have available to us. Again, they have a search, which is really great. So if you want to read about discussions, you can search for discussions, and then it's going to bring up a list of all the resources related to a discussion board. All right, so we looked at the Canvas guides. Oh yeah, so everyone in the VCCS has 24/7 access to Canvas support, which is great. They have chat support available, phone support, and even email support. And that's also underneath this little help menu right here. If you scroll down about halfway down the menu, they have a student hotline that you can call. They have a chat menu that you can interact with someone through chat. And whenever you're calling someone at the hotline, you're connected with a call center that's in the United States. You're not being routed anywhere else in the world, which is great. And they have the ability to see things inside your course. If you're having a specific issue with an item or viewing a page, or an image isn't loading right, or maybe a link is broken, or things like that. If you're having trouble with any of those pieces, they can help support you in those questions. This is also helpful because while we at the college would love to work around the clock, our lives don't allow us to do that. So when students are working late at night or very early in the morning, whenever the college isn't open, you as a student can still get the support that you need to take advantage of any help that you need and get the answers to your questions. Jumping down to the next topic here, we have a new online readiness tool called eLearn Ready. And this is a 43 question survey, I believe. Let me open it up here. That will help evaluate some of the things that you may be curious to know about yourself and your study habits. So it's going to ask you questions about your self-motivation, how you self-management, communication with your instructor, interacting with your peers, your learning preferences, through text, visual cues, auditory cues, your technology skills, and then your the classroom website or the learning management system in this case. If I show you briefly what the survey looks like, they're all multiple choice questions. And at the end of the survey, after you're done completing it, it's going to give you an evaluation that is going to show you how you scored on the assessment itself. So if I look through here, this is an example of a demo user that took the assessment. So it breaks down the scores. So for this demo user, the self-motivation scored an 80, whereas the average was 82. And you can kind of skim through here and see some of the differences. So the technology skills for this person was 77, whereas the average was 89. But then just below that, it will break down in a table view. And then each category gives you some more information about the specific skills. So it says this dimension measures your motivation skill for the course. The maximum is 100 and you scored an 80, indicating you are reasonably motivated about your coursework. You understand how courses relate to long-term goals. You set goals for classes but need to focus on accomplishing them, and so on. So it continues to give you more information, but then it also gives you some ways to improve your self-motivation. Set goals that will motivate you. Read the course syllabus. Knowing what's expected of you will help you reach your goals. Find a study partner. Make a connection between your coursework and your personal goals. Stay focused. And it has a little video that has some more information about self-motivation and ways to improve that. And the same thing for the other categories. Self-management, it gives you the score. And it also provides some other ways to manage your time, manage the work that you put in, communicating with your instructor, which, arguably in an online course is probably one of the most important pieces that we can make sure that we're doing a good job with. Maintaining a constant communication with your instructor is important. So this assessment doesn't count for any grade or anything like that. It's purely for your benefit, but it's a tool that we're happy to offer to students because in the shift to online learning that we're seeing, we want you to be able to identify some of your areas of weakness and also have some resources to improve those areas. And then lastly, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about some of the support that our office provides at the college. So in the Instructional Technology Office, we have a few different ways to get in touch with us. We have a page on our website, and again, I'll share all these links here at the end, but we have a help request form. If you're inside your course and you're having trouble, we gotta fix that link there. If you're having trouble with something inside the course itself, There we go. The form will help us in the instructional technology office connect with you and assist you in a more timely manner. So, there's a box to address the urgency of your request. Is this something that you need help immediately? Otherwise, you'll be in big trouble. Or is it something that you need some help, or you have a question, but maybe it's not super time sensitive? And then we have different categories here that you can let us know, what area do you need help with? Is it something on Canvas? Is it something to do with instructional technology like Google Drive or Zoom, or using something in your web browser, Microsoft Office, video and multimedia? Is it something, this one is more for faculty, but designing course content and designing student engagement activities. Are you having trouble with your password or login issues? Do you want to just connect with someone in our office so that we can help address any concerns or issues, with an appointment? Or is it something unrelated that maybe is outside one of these categories? So we collect some basic information about you, a good phone number to reach you at. If it's something that happens inside a Canvas course, we want to know what course it's in, and just to get a better feel for what you need help with and how we can support you. We have a phone number that if you call this number, it's going to ring a few different people on our staff, and any one of us can pick up that number and get your questions and concerns addressed. We are using a tool called Live Chat that is embedded on our office's web pages, and when one of the support agents is signed in to the Live Chat tool, you can communicate with us in real time through chat. And if it requires something where we need to jump on the phone or a Zoom call, we're happy to do that as well. We have an email address, and we are available through Zoom. If you'd like to schedule an appointment, we'll make sure that we have everything to offer you to get your issues and concerns addressed. I think those are all the resources that I wanted to share. I'm going to put a link to this document that I'm sharing inside the Zoom chat, and then hopefully Sarah can share that inside the recording or alongside the recording. That way you have some resources to refer back to if you have questions, or you're reviewing the recording later. I'll put that in the chat right now. All right, so I am happy to take any questions if there are any, or if anyone has any comments or feedback, or wants me to go over anything else, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, Sarah, I'll give it back to you.
Grace, do you have any questions for Gannon or Aaron or Kyla? We had some more support pop in during this session.
I just got a message in the chat. Grace says she doesn't have any questions, so that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you know how to reach out if you do run into issues with technology or Canvas or anything like that. We'd love to get you squared away, and please let us know what we can do to help you. And Sarah, you said you had something to share afterwards with the drawing, right? So let me stop sharing.
Yeah, I was going to make you stop.
That's fine.
Okay, so I am sharing the link for the for you to enter into our prize raffle, where students can win an iPad mini, AirPods, or Nintendo Switch. We will be drawing on the first day of classes, which is August 24th, and we're very excited. And new students can have up to 5 entries to increase your chances of winning. So if you have already attended sessions, awesome. If you would like to get more entries in, you can go to lfcc.edu/new student portal, and that will take you to all of our summer series. If you go to /welcome day, you'll see all of the events that we've had this week, and you'll be able to watch any recordings again. So if you missed the first part of this and you want to go back and watch it again, you can pop in there and watch Gannon start this off if you missed him. But thank you so much for coming, and it's great to see everybody. and have a wonderful beginning to the semester. It's very exciting.
Thanks so much for the opportunity, Sarah.
You're welcome. So good to see you all.